Hey guys, what's going on? Beast here, hitting you up with a new series that can only be done by people who can't make it to Challenger, which will be our struggle into Masters. So we're going to take a look at a few games every 2 or 3 days to see what we did wrong and right and what we can improve on. So looking at this first game, I want to pick Nautilus just because Olaf never does well versus Kha'Zix or Janna. So if I was to pick Olaf in this matchup, it would probably wind up pretty bad for me because I can't kill Jhin because of Janna and I can't kill Kha'Zix because of his ult. So this was actually a really easy game in terms of laning phase because the Riven made a lot of really bad trades in lane, which put her at a disadvantage, at a huge disadvantage, because then I was able to free farm because she couldn't all in me because I was on much higher health than her. So this laning phase was actually really easy and really nice for me. Right here, my team's trying to make a play on this Kha'Zix, but like Braum missed his Q, and then I guess I was gonna ping it, but I thought they saw the Orianna coming down because Viktor pinged it, but like I guess somebody just brains were not working, and yeah, they get double killed. Lucian does clean up the Kha'Zix, but Orianna kind of snowballs off that, and then just starts dicking all over Viktor. So, yeah, not the best. So here, Kha'Zix finds Gragas and catches him out. Now, if Gragas would have just flashed immediately or flashed sooner or walked a different way, he probably would have lived. But because he tried to hold on to his flash, he died, which, guys, if you're gonna die, don't flash. But if you think you can live, flash at the beginning. Because Gragas waited so long for his flash, he just ended up dying because of it. And I wanted to TP down to this, but I couldn't because I knew Riven was coming down. But if I TP'd down sooner, like when Gragas was getting caught out, which is when I wanted to TP, then everybody backs out and then we don't pick up any of the kills. But Lucian does pick up a few kills here, which gets him really far ahead. But I could have TP'd sooner in order to hold off Riven, but I was just too scared of someone backing off, and yeah, it was my mistake. After that, we grouped mid for the mid tower a little later, and I thought we could kill the Jhin, but then Kha'Zix steps in the way of my hook, so I'm not able to hook him, and we would have gotten the pick on him, but because Kha'Zix was so tanky and Janna blocked a lot of the damage and healed him up so much that we didn't even end up getting the Kha'Zix, and also he was building Black Cleaver, so it just added to his tankiness. Here, it was really stupid. Gragas goes back in for some reason, and then ends up flashing out, and then dies anyway, and that was the second time he did this, so it was really bad. Also, I thought I had stepped out of tower range. But then we go back top, and Gragas wants to try and kill Riven, but she has a decent amount of lifesteal, and we don't really have any damage. Gragas was trying to build AP, which was really stupid, which is why he died so quick, and I didn't realize that, otherwise I wouldn't have gone in on this, because, like, I knew he would have died if I would have known he was AP, but I thought he was just building tank like a sane person, but I guess not, and he ends up dying because of it. I start walking back towards the mid lane because I think we can get something out of it, because they also got a pick on Orianna, and the Braum flashes here, which I think was completely unnecessary, and it probably was because I was hooking Janna at the same time he flashed, so it was kind of pointless. And I thought we could kill the Kha'Zix here because he was really far pushed up, but I don't have ult and Gragas doesn't have ult, and again we don't really have any damage at all, so he does end up getting away. But we do get his flash out of it, so it's not the worst thing ever. But yeah, we just don't have any damage, me and Gragas. And here they started grouping for our mid lane, but Gragas lands a really nice ult to catch out the Orianna, and she ends up having to flash away. But Braum jumps forward and lands another Q on Riven, which starts a fight and catches them out because they were just trying to disengage. And here I was thinking, oh, Jhin's in the front line, we can kill him. But I guess that wasn't the case, and then Riven jumps back in. And she does get a pick on the Viktor, but we do kill her in return. Here I was actually trying to hook the Kha'Zix, but I hooked a little too soon and I end up getting the Orianna. But hey, it worked out for the best because we got 2 kills out of it, so whatever. After that, we started sieging the mid tower and taking it, but then I land a hook on Jhin, and I thought we would just kill him outright, but I guess we didn't, and Lucian ends up diving under their tower pretty deep. He does get a double kill, but yeah, I just think dives like that are really risky, and I really don't think you should do them. My team tries to take Baron after that, and it was the right call, but it was a little closer than I would like, because both junglers actually miss the smite, and Lucian ends up taking the Baron. This fight starts out kind of rough, but then we kind of come back in it, and basically when I say we come back, I mean Lucian steps up and gets 2 kills because he's just so fed. Here, I walked out of the brush because I thought that I was going to get stunned by my own Victor, but yeah, that wasn't the case, and I'm just retarded. But then we take the Infernal Drake, and then we start sieging the top lane as a 4-man, but then Kha'Zix is splitting top, and then we get 3-man Orianna ulted, and then also Gragas gets picked because Kha'Zix dives him under tower, and then he dies. And yeah, we pretty much all die because after that Lucian and Braum got run down. But after that I made a TP play because they just overextended and stayed way too long, and we get 2 kills out of it. We tried to take the Baron again after a long time of not doing anything, and once again Lucian somehow gets the Baron. I activate my Stone Plate here because I knew they wanted to deal some damage to me while they could, because none of my teammates were around me. But since I activated my Gargoyle Stone Plate, they couldn't really do anything, and they all just kind of had to run. But we still picked them off anyway. But yeah, and then we get a mid inhib off of that, and we kill Janna here. And I think we could have ended here because their death timers are pretty long, and like Lucian's super fed. But he ends up backing, and we just take the Infernal Drake. But yeah, I think we could have just ended there, but whatever, we got a huge advantage. After that, we go back to the top lane, and Gragas lands a huge 4-man ultimate on most everybody except the Kha'Zix, because the Kha'Zix is splitting top for some reason. And yeah, that pretty much loses him the game, and we get another win out of it. And get a whopping 16 LP, which actually isn't that good. I've been beating recently, so it's not giving me as much LP, but even so, I was still only about 2 wins away, and now I'm only 1. So yeah, getting closer to getting into our series. In our next game, we play Olaf because I was late in the draft, so I got to see pretty much everything that they had picked, except like their support. So I wanted to play Olaf just because I love Olaf, and it was a really good situation to play him, and I knew I could beat the Galio. I trade 1-for-1 for him here, but that's kind of worth it for me because I get 400 gold, and the wave was also pushing towards me. And I thought I could kill him again here once I hit 6 because he just played safe, but I don't know, he just felt like really tanky. And then I go back in and I almost land my axe, but then I miss it because I was just like under pressure, and then I succumbed to that pressure, and yeah, I just missed it. I wanted to TP here because I thought I could get a kill on the Rek'Sai because like he's fed but he's really squishy, so I thought I could kill him, but then he was just too far under tower and I missed. I go really aggressive here, but that's really stupid because I just end up trading 1-for-1. And it's not worth here because Galio just eternally outscales me, but yeah, I was just really bored, so I started doing a lot of stupid stuff. But then I get a cheese kill, which is really good for me because I'm also able to get first tower out of that, which gives me like a huge amount of gold because I basically just got 900 gold from that. And then I get another 200 because I'm able to run down this Galio because I put a ward in the brush because I knew he would run up to try and kill it. And yeah, he almost gets away, but I just barely have enough mana to get him. You can see I dropped to 5 mana when I threw that last axe. And yeah, I get about 1200 gold out of all of that. After that, we started sieging for the mid tower, but I got really bored because it was just them constantly wave clearing and the tower was low. So I went in to kill the tower, but then Warwick went in after me to try and soak up some damage so I wouldn't die. But I didn't think they would do that because I was just trying to suicide for the tower. But yeah, they end up trying to save me, and then he dies, and then Twitch also gets cut out, and he dies as well, which kind of sucks. After that, we started taking the Rift Herald, but they knew we were taking it, but they had no vision of it. So Rek'Sai went in blind, and we were able to just kill him so easily because he was like 8-1 this game, but he was building full damage until we started just destroying him. So yeah, there's some easy free kills and a Rift Herald. Now, we don't really utilize the Rift Herald that well, and it does end up dying. And Warwick actually gets a nice ult on the Rek'Sai because he is doing a lot of damage right now because he's like 8-1 at this point, or 8-2 or something. I back out here, but that was really stupid of me because I thought I was on lower health than I really was, and like maybe the Warwick wouldn't have died if I wouldn't have backed out, but I don't know. I just thought I was on lower health. I trade one mid tower for a bot tower with Talia because I could have backed and stopped her from taking the tower, but I wanted to take mid tower because we get more pressure out of taking mid tower than they do out of taking bot tower, so it's really worth it for that. And then we take Infernal Drake and we start pinging the Baron, and then we get that as well, which puts us like extremely far ahead. So you know we should easily win the game from this point. But this is NA, so everybody likes to throw. After that, we started grouping, but then like that didn't really work just because they had so much wave clear, so we all split off and just started taking our own towers, and we almost got all of the towers just because we were applying so much pressure that they couldn't handle it. But we got kind of impatient, and then a lot of us died. So yeah, that wasn't really good. Here, Warwick jumps in, which is like really stupid because he missed his ult, and also we can't 5v5 on an engage like that because we're far ahead, but their Kog'Maw is starting to ramp up, which really sucks because he's 7-2. But then they overstay trying to take our inhibitor, and we're able to run down the Kog'Maw, and I'm running after the Sona. And I use ult here just because I wanted a little more movement speed because I didn't want her to get away. And yeah, then we get that kill. After that, we start going to mid to try and take the inhibitors, but they thought they had caught out the Talon. They did pop his GA, but nothing really more than that, and they give up 2 kills for it, which just makes it that much easier for us to take the inhibitor towers. But as we're taking the inhibitor towers, Warwick tries to jump in on Kog'Maw, which is like really stupid because it's a Kog'Maw and he's fed, and it's starting to get to the late game, and also it's under towers. And because of the picks that we got, nobody really had anything to back him up. So yeah, that was kind of stupid by him, and I don't really know what he was thinking. After that, they try for Baron, and I go and die trying to stop them. And I did stall them long enough for Twitch to get here. So yeah, after that we pretty much just run down mid and end the game. I feel like I did well that game, but there was definitely some mistakes I could have improved on, like just not being so stupid and so aggressive. But we do get over 17 OP at least, and we do get into our series for it. But that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mother if you want to, but she'll probably tell you to stop wasting your life watching losers play League of Legends. And until next time, guys, I will see you in my next video.